Welcome back. This is Chapter 5th, The 100 Dresses Part First, written by Al Bessar Esther. And now I'm going to explain page number 68 to you. So here we go. If only Peggy would decide of her own accord to stop having fun with Wanda. It all depended on Peggy whether she wanted to have fun with Wanda Petronsky or not, because she was the only girl who was most interested in it, and she was the only girl who discovered this game. Oh well, Maddie ran her hand through her short blonde hair as though to push the uncomfortable thoughts away, and now Maddie pushed her hand through her short, yellowish golden colored hair of her, and by doing so, she was trying to push the uncomfortable thoughts away from her mind. What difference did it make? Now she thought, she spoke to herself. She thought, what difference did it make whether Peggy made any fan of Wanda Petronsky or not? Slowly, Maddie tore into bits the note she had started, and then deciding, then thinking in that order, since she was not involved in any of the things, so she thought it made no difference to her, and then slowly she tore the piece of note that she wrote to Peggy into bits, into small pieces. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. Maddie was Peggy's best friend, and she was the most popular, or say she was the popular student, popular girl in the room number 13. Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, she thought, and she then assumed, she thought that Peggy could never do a thing that was seriously wrong. As for Wanda, she was just some girl who lived up on Bogginside and stood alone in the schoolyard. So here she drew a comparison between these two girls, Peggy and Wanda, and these were having contrasting features. Peggy, on one hand, was the most popular girl in the room, that is room number 13. On the other hand, Wanda Petronsky was just a common girl. She lived in Bogginside area, that is, she came from Bogginside area, and she stood all alone in the schoolyard. She was not having any friends. She was having no friends. That is what it means here, that she was not at all popular in school, whereas Peggy was the favorite or the most popular girl in that room. She scarcely ever said anything to anybody, and she hardly talked to anyone. The only time she talked was in the schoolyard about her 100 dresses, and the only time she would ever talk to anyone was in the schoolyard when she would talk about 100 dresses. Besides this, she would never talk to anyone. Maddie remembered her telling about one of her dresses, pale blue with colored trimmings, and Maddie here recalls what she said, what Wanda once said to her, that she had a pale blue dress with colored trimming with colored border or colored frills. And she remembered another that was brilliant jungle green with a red chest. And she also could recall her speaking about her another dress. Out of 100 dresses, she talked about the second dress that was a jungle green, that was a deep green color dress with a red chest, with a red belt. You'd look like a Christmas tree in that, the girls had said in pretended admiration. And these girls who laughed at her, they would say in pretended in false admiration that she would look, that is, Wanda would look like a Christmas tree if she wore it, or when she wore it. Thinking about Wanda and her 100 dresses all lined up in the closet, Maddie began to wonder who was going to win the drawing and coloring contest. And thinking about her 100 dresses, all of those lined up in her closet, in her wardrobe, Maddie now thought about the contest, the drawing and coloring contest, as who was going to win that contest. For girls, the contest consisted of designing dresses, and for boys, of designing motorboats. And the contest was divided in two categories. For girls, the task was to design a dress and color it, and for boys, they were tasked with designing a motorboat. Probably Peggy would win the girls' medal, and she thought that Peggy was going to win the girls' category. In the girls' category, Peggy drew better than anyone else in the room, and she thought, she knew that Peggy was best so far coloring, so far drawing was concerned in room number 13. No one drew better than her. At least that's what everybody thought, and that was also the common perception in room number 13. That was the common belief in that room. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film stars had, so that you could almost tell who it was. So her skill and drawing was so good that she could copy a picture in a magazine, appearing in magazine, or she could also draw the head of a star. It was so close that one could easily tell who it was. Oh, Maddie was sure Peggy would win, and she was absolutely sure that it was Maddie who was going to win this contest. Well, tomorrow the teacher was going to announce the winners, or then they would know, and tomorrow only, the next day only, the result was to be declared, and with the declaration of the result, everything would come out to open. That is, everyone would come to know as who was the winner of this contest. The next day it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella, and the following day, morning saw drizzling. That is, it was drizzling the following morning. Maddie and Peggy, they hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. They didn't wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner of Olive Street, and that day they did not wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner on the edge of Oliver Street, the street that far away under the railroad track and up the hill and that was on that road went far away. That was a long way from that corner, from that edge, and on that ran under the railroad tracks, that ran parallel along the railroad tracks, and it then went up to the hills leading to Bogginside, and that road would then lead you to the Bogginsides. Anyway, they weren't taking chances on being late today, and they were not taking any chances to be late today. That is, they did not wait for Wanda Petronsky on that day because they were sure, or they were excited about the outcome, about the result of the drawing contest, and so they did not wait for Wanda Petronsky because today was important. It was important day. So this is all for now. Thank you.